Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, powered by the Difference Media LLC.
And hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group. And also sponsored by Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home, Suzanna Austin with Canine Resorts, and by Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health. The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Well, good morning, Plano. It is 11:32 on a very chilly and rainy Wednesday morning. Welcome to episode 51 of the Community Difference Plano, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I am your host, Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, where we specialize in guiding your personal finance and helping you to properly protect your income. At the Enfuego Group, we're passionate about financial freedom, so we invite you to join in our mission and help us to live life on fire. Let's get right in today. We have a stellar show, fourth week of our topic, Blueprint to Breakthrough Business Growth, how to create a clear strategy that sets you apart from competitors. We're going to specifically be touching on a couple of topics around consistency today, leveraging partnerships to expand reach, using strategies specifically to elevate growth, to accelerate growth, and much more. So we're going to, we'll tackle that in our third segment today. So you want to stick around as we do that. But in order to do that, I need the help of my incredible co-host and our guest today. So let's bring them right in, starting with Cyndi Durrance, A Place from Home, North Texas. With over 25 years as a respiratory therapist, Cyndi transitioned into elder care to support those with memory impairment. As sales and marketing manager at A Place for Home in North Texas, she's dedicated to creating lasting value for clients. She also serves on the board of Collin County Veteran Coalition and supports local charitable initiatives. Cyndi, good morning.
Hi.
How are you this morning? What are you most excited about today?
I'm most excited about listening to these guests and finding out what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Well, very good. And I should note that you have we have another co-host that's battling the flu today. So Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, one of the most healthy people I know. And unfortunately, like so many, you do so well for long, but when you do get sick, it's like really hits you. And so we're thoughts and prayers with her. She tried everything to be on today, but just not quite ready. So want to remember her. And then also with Canine Resorts, Suzanna Austin has a strong background in child advocacy. Her passion for protecting the vulnerable extends to animal welfare, especially dogs. She's dedicated to responsible pet ownership and providing safe, nurturing environments. Canine Resorts offers award-winning services, including supervised group play, luxury boarding, and top-tier sanitation to ensure pets receive the best care possible. Please welcome Suzanna Austin. Suzanna, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thank you.
Wonderful. We're glad you're here. What are you looking forward to this morning?
Listening to everybody else's strategies and being able to learn from the group that we have on today. We talked about marketing and branding, and now I feel like this is going to kind of tie that in and how to use all those skills that we've been.
Yeah, and I appreciate, this is your second show since you came on board with us, and appreciate your approach to just learning and trying to implement so much of what we talk about. And I think that's very important as far as, people that are a part of us as co-hosts, but also our audience and our guests. And so speaking of guests, let's bring in our first guest, Janine Bayer with the Bayer Group. With 10 years as a full-time realtor, Janine specializes in helping buyers, sellers, and investors navigate real estate with integrity and expertise. The Bayer Group is dedicated to personalized service and long-term client relationships. Please welcome Janine Bayer. Janine, good morning. Oh, there we go. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's good to have you here this morning. What are you most looking forward to today?
I am looking forward to listening to everyone and looking forward to collaborate as well.
Very good. Very good. Well, we're going to have some collaborators. Let's bring on the next one. Another guest, friends with Cyndi Durrance, Tammy Warren, part of McKinney Values PAC or Political Action Community. As president of McKinney Values PAC, Tammy has been a leader in McKinney's conservative movement for 5 years, supporting like-minded candidates. A Texas Conservative Leader Award recipient, she is active in local politics, serves on multiple boards, and works as an executive assistant at Emerson. Please welcome Tammy Warren. Tammy, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. I think I gave the wrong acronym for PAC. It's Political Action Committee, if I'm correct. But
that's fine. Yeah.
Everybody probably knows that. So, well, very good. What are you most excited about this morning?
Well, like everyone else listening, but I'm also excited to share because I'm hopeful that I can help somebody with their vision and maybe give some success stories.
Yeah, well, that's always good. It's nice to collaborate, and that's a big part of what we're doing here. And last but not least, Jeremy Grisel with Physical Therapy and Balance Center in Castle Hills. With 20 years as a vestibular physical therapist, Jeremy specializes in dizziness, balance disorders, and fall prevention. He integrates Tai Chi and martial arts into therapy and down to the balance to help aging adults increase strength and mobility. I want to know more about that Tai Chi. That's pretty awesome. Please welcome Jeremy Grisel. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. Thanks for letting me be here.
Well, Jeremy, we're glad you're here. I know you're a guest of Audra's. We're sad that she's not able to join us, but obviously you guys have had a good working relationship and doing some synergy things out there in the Castle Hills area. So what are you most excited about today as we move into the topic here shortly?
Well, I just borrowed some money and jumped into a little venture. It's just getting started and I need all the help I can get. So I'm a little selfish in wanting to learn from all of you, but hope I can contribute as well.
Well, good. Well, I'm excited to jump in here. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into our What's Up Plano segment, share some things that are happening in and around the city, as well as some things that you need to know moving forward. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Christy Mull with Cohesive Confidence, Suzanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, and by Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
What's Up Plano, brought to you by Love and War in Texas. Get ready to experience the true heart of Texas at Love and War in Texas in Plano. Savor authentic Texas cuisine from barbecue to wild game to Gulf seafood, all while enjoying live music from some of Texas's best artists. So whether you're craving a taste of Lone Star State or looking for a fun night out, this iconic spot has it all. Speaking of this iconic spot, we were there on last Thursday, the 23rd, for the January Business Development Alliance. We had about 65 people there. We were outside the patio. Fantastic event. Global business leader, business coach Jim Thomas was there. Fantastic time. I think we had, like I said, 65 people. So I'll give you kind of the heads up for what's coming up in just a moment in our February BDA. But I wanted to open it up and just ask, I know we had 3 people that are on the podcast today that were at the BDA. Just give us a quick 10 seconds of what kind of your biggest takeaways were, if you would. Cyndi, you want to go first?
I think my biggest takeaways were those 5 questions that Tom asked us. I think that that's something that we need to ask. If it needs to ask ourselves every week, let's ask it. But every month, like Are you easy to work with? Do you expedite? Do you have a sense of urgency? That was 2 of the questions. And I just thought all 5 of those apply to everything we do every day. And if we're not being successful in our business, we need to ask ourselves those 5 questions.
Couldn't agree more. That's a great takeaway. Susanna?
Well, for fear of being a copycat, I was thinking the same thing that Cyndi was saying. Those are really strong, valuable points that I actually couldn't wait to get back to our facility to discuss with my team, and especially one of our customer concierge who's been in charge of our, trying to generate sales and attract more clients. It was just something that was kind of lit a fire under me. So that was exciting.
And then Janine, I know you were there as well. What were some of your takeaways?
So a lot of people had good contributions on how they stay successful and stay in front of people. It's great to have like a panel like that at the beginning of the year, because it also reminds you on how to talk to clients again after the holidays, just kind of a good way to start the year, I would say.
Yeah, very good. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing, different topic, different speaker for February. Lennon, if you want to throw that up. So February, Plano City Councilman Shelby Williams will be there, and he's going to be discussing just some of the business climate, the business atmosphere of Plano, what's coming, what the city's doing to continue to attract the right people to this city. Plano's kind of the leader in Collin County when it comes to business development, and so he's going to be talking about that. But this is a really important opportunity, and I've asked Lyndon to just quickly talk about, why as business owners locally do we want to take advantage of times where we can get in front of these city council leaders and mayors and things like that to allow our voice to be heard.
Well, thank you, Nathan. I mean, every decision that's made within our local government, most of them, whether it's bonds or zoning or anything like that, is going to impact us as business owners. And a lot of times, if we're really busy as business owners, and we don't have time to keep up with all the things that are going on with the EDC and other things like that, I want to create a platform and make the connection so that we bring people on here so that our target market, the small business owner, knows what's going on in the community, and we can unite with each other and make a stronger voice so that we can impact a lot of the decisions that are made, whether it's taxes, whether it's zoning, whether it's bonds, all the different things. Because a lot of times we wake up in a year and we go, well, this is killing my business. How did this happen? And it happened because not enough of us were communicating what was going on in our communities. We didn't have the connections to understand what was going on in the communities. And now we're kind of behind the 8 ball as far as the impact these decisions that they made are having on our business. So that's really the number one thing. And our BDA that we had Monday in Rockwall, we had the Heath mayor come out, and he actually explained all the different things that the EDC, and this is true across all communities, will do to help you with your business. Sometimes there's grants, sometimes there's loans, sometimes there's lease backs. There's a lot of different things that the EDC is doing to help businesses thrive. So I want people to understand that the opportunities within our communities are there if we have the right connection and we've got the right pathways to get the information. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with the community difference, is create that pathway.
Well, very good. And we want to, part of the Business Development Alliance is to bring attention to people that are actually, helping make those decisions. And so we're going to try to work on getting the mayor on, maybe someone from the economic development kind of hub of Plano, and just kind of the same what Lyndon was talking about with what we did in Rockwall. So I know, Cyndi, you've got some things that you'd like to share as we move into some other things happening in and around Plano.
Yes. I'm a big foodie, and I went to this place called Kenny's Pizza. I found out there was a big Kenny's restaurant group. The food was amazing. Every meal I've had was incredible. And I went on their website and I tried to get an interview with Dave or Kenny, but they were not available. I went on their website and I thought, what is donations? I clicked the donation button, and they have a page where you can ask if you are doing a fundraiser if you're doing a lunch for homeless people, anything that you have in there, if you would like them to contribute or furnish the meal, all you have to do is fill everything out and they'll look it over and give you some contact information to contact them. And I think that is such a wonderful resource, an unknown resource that I wasn't aware of it for the community, and it's for all of Cole County.
And so that's just a way that they're giving back to the community. It's just their website. What's their website again?
Kenny's Restaurant Group under donations. I thought, what's donations? I wonder what that is. And there's just a sheet that you fill out, quite detailed one, and it's really kind of nice because they're asking you what you're into. How are you in the community, and how can we help?
Well, that's good, and that's actually kind of interesting because that's goes hand in hand with some of the stuff that we may touch on a little bit later today. And then Suzanna, I know you wanted to share something.
I did, and on that same, just a little bit on that same note, Paws of Love Rescue is accepting donations for a sweet baby that they've just tried to help. They're calling her T. She had a blockage that required surgery. Oddly, it was caused by a corn cob. The surgery cost up to $3,000, and because it's a nonprofit that's helping her, donations are paramount for them to be able to continue their work. So if anybody's interested, they can go to pawsofloverescue.com and donate there.
Paws of Love Rescue. Yeah, man, those animal surgeries can be real expensive. We had to do one with our dog, but certainly a good call. So thank you, Suzanna, for that. We talked about, Lyndon mentioned economic development, and I went to the economic development website for Plano, and we're working to have some of those folks on because I think it's just really good to be in front of people that are making the decisions on how our community is going to grow and who's coming here and how easy it is to do business in our communities. And so Lyndon, if you want to throw up that first screenshot real quick, if we can see that. No. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll leave it. Sorry. That's right. My bad. Yeah, we'll talk about this real quick. So one of our charities that we are good friends with, we have a lot of folks that have been a part of the difference that are on the board. Carson's Crusaders, Saturday, February 1st. That's this Saturday. They're doing a poker tournament, right? So there's high roller sponsorships, Fat Stack sponsor. I love the names, by the way. Gunshot sponsor. So you can sponsor any category you want to. There's still time to sign up, the registration, etc. But it's going to start at 4 p.m. They'll start playing at 5 p.m. and then the awards will be at 9 p.m. So there's a $1,500 first prize gift card. So if you're good at poker, if you're not good at poker, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a really good cause for a great foundation. Carson's Crusaders, they really help. Carson was a child that unfortunately passed away from cancer, and his family started a foundation that helps families that are going through the same thing, just kind of with gas and different things that they need throughout the process. They have events for the siblings of those that are going through cancer treatments because they can often get overlooked as you're focusing on one child, right? And so they do so many great things, and we're honored to be a part of that and hope that you'd like to come and be a part of that event this coming Saturday. Okay, sorry, Lyndon. Next one, if you would. So I was looking at economic development website here and just looking at some statistics. And the one that stood out to me was this one. Plano is the number 3 most recession-resistant city in the United States. Does that surprise anybody? It doesn't. It does. Number 3 is pretty dang good, right? And so my question is, well, why is that? Well, obviously, Plano is doing a great job as far as, you can take that down now, Lyndon. You next one if you don't mind. They're doing a great job at bringing in the right businesses by making it easy to grow a business, while making it easy to do business together. Not a lot of red tape, not a lot of regulations. This is also pretty interesting. 31% of employees, people that work in Plano, they live here. Okay. 69% of people, they commute to Plano, right? So you've got an influx of a lot of people coming into the city for work. Well, what does that mean? That's an influx of people that are coming into the city to do business with, to build relations with, to patronize your business, etc. And so, just a huge opportunity here. When you guys see those statistics as business owners, what do you think of? What does it make you? What does that mean to you? I'm just curious.
Well, it's promising to me, and it sounds like we've made a good choice in a good area, and it makes it. I feel like whenever we're owning a business has been stressful. It's been an experience, and so that knowing that we're in that kind of economic climate, at least in our immediate surroundings, is helpful. It'll help me sleep better tonight.
Well, and here's what it says to me, and this is why we do what we do on The Difference and the topics that we talk about. There's opportunity for everyone. It's just a matter of seizing that opportunity, knowing how to dive deep, to find the different opportunities to build business together, to partner with other organizations, to partner with other businesses. And at the end of the day, I think that's really, really exciting, right? And this is why we want to continue to get in front of people on the Economic Development Board, ask those questions, share the pain points that we're having as business owners and citizens, because the economic development does impact regular citizenry life as well. And I think that's really important to make sure that we know that, again, like Linda talked about earlier, these organizations, these groups, from political leaders to city leaders of different kinds, they affect our life on the local level more than any other, state, national, et cetera. And so that's oftentimes areas where we don't put a vested interest in, but as business owners, we have to, right? Because our success is really the success of our communities is dependent on the success of small businesses. And that just radiates out to Texas, to the nation, and so on and so forth. Anybody else, any thoughts, those statistics or anything stick out to you? The third most recession resistant. Does that surprise anybody? Does that give you hope, make you feel excited?
I think it's very reassuring for me. It's very reassuring that Plano and the Collin County area is growth oriented, and they're going to continue to grow.
Well, the question is, and you see Collin County and Plano growing, so that leaves, are we taking advantage of that growth? And I think that's the most important thing that kind of stood out to me, is the opportunity is endless for all of us to really grow and expand and be successful. Last thing, speaking of growing, this event, the half marathon, I should say, is this Saturday. It's out at the Red Tail Pavilion. It is not going to cover any road. Well, it does cross Park Boulevard in this short little part. So that's going to be closed down this Saturday, basically from early morning to mid-afternoon. If you're working towards the half marathon, congratulations. If you start out with the 5K or the 10K, that's also great. If you want to just go around and walk and watch other people run and sweat, that's also good too. But this is a really exciting event. Here's the cool thing. You can actually sign up at the event, right? The registration is all the way up until the event starts. So if you get a wild hair and say, man, I'm going to go try to do a 5K, maybe you're already doing that exercise. I don't know about you. I would need about 2 to 3 months notice so I can start getting in running shape and get my knee fixed, but still a very exciting thing. That's a beautiful area out there between Oak Point and where they have the Balloon Festival, that area of Plano. So make sure, if you know somebody, maybe they don't know about it, maybe they like to sign up, you can certainly do that last second. It's not a problem. Okay, when we come back, breakthrough to business growth. We're going to talk specifically, like I mentioned, about consistency, leveraging the right partnerships to expand your reach, and finding the strategy that's going to allow you to accelerate your growth, and a couple other things that we'll touch on then. So stick right back as we dive into our topic.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Breakthrough to business growth, how to create a clear strategy that sets you apart from your competitors. A big key in that, and this is something we actually talked about. Jim mentioned this. We talked about it on our panel at the Business Development Alliance on Thursday, is consistency, which is really the key to building trust and influence, not only with your customer base, also with your team, but also in the community in general. And so whether it's consistency in your content, in your the service that you're delivering, your messaging, right? All this establishes credibility that builds trust and reinforces your brand identity, which is very important. And so I'll open up with this. What are some specific systems or processes that you guys have implemented to ensure consistency across, all of your customer touch points? What are some areas that you have implemented some systems or processes to ensure consistency across all of your customer touch points?
I might jump in there, Nathan, real quick, just because, I'm looking at all the people in this room, like I'm sure all of you are consistent, you're passionate. The key though is to spread that out or make that happen everywhere in your space with all of your employees or the people you're working with. And that's something that has been challenging us a little bit. So we did create with some of our front office work, just like some checklists. I hate to be boring, but it was just a checklist to say, hey, these things need to be done. And then we're just circling back around every 2 weeks and doing an honest review of how we're doing with those different touch points and the patient experience as they come in, as they call on the phone. And we're starting to see I'm pleased to see some improvement. So checklists work.
Yeah, well, I love that because I was going to say one of the areas you can do that in is, when you set up some procedures or some processes. A lot of times we just kind of set them and put them in place and hope that they work out, but we don't go back and audit them or set up kind of training refreshes and make sure these things are actually happening. So the fact that you guys are doing that is really good, because otherwise you don't really know if what you're doing is actually working. And that's kind of useless to put something in place and not check, is it actually producing the results you want? Janine, you obviously have a lot of touch points with your clients and customers and your team. What are some processes that you guys have implemented to ensure consistency across the board?
Yes. So as a realtor, I can, of course, help you with the purchase of your home, selling a home, investment, but I also want to be a good resource of contractors or businesses. My clients are always leaning on me, especially the ones that are, transferring from different states. Hey, who do you recommend as a veterinarian? Who's a good plumber? So I use these same contractors because I want to make sure that I'm giving my clients, people that line up with my same, like I respond, on weekends, and I work pretty much all the time. So I just want to make sure that they're taken care of. And that's how I'm able to be a good resource to all my clients.
Well, you've developed these connections and touch points, it sounds like, even in areas that aren't necessarily your business, which is actually the ultimate goal, is to be that resource in other areas. So it's great that you've established that. I imagine that can get pretty overwhelming. So what are some specific ways that you can kind of organize that to make sure that whether you're giving a referral for something unrelated to real estate, or you're working with your customers or clients or other team members, that your consistency is the same across all those interactions?
So after I recommend a business to my clients, I always check in with them to give me feedback, because maybe I haven't used them in like a few months or even a year. So if a client that has recently used them gives me like raving reviews, then I'm confident in that business, then I can share it with, my sphere and even like my colleagues, because I also like to share those contacts with fellow agents, because they have clients or, family members that have the same needs.
Tammy, trust is obviously important in the world of politics, and when you're dealing with people, and I don't know if a lot of politicians think this, maybe they should, but when you're dealing with values, right? Knowing what to expect, developing consistency in that regard is very important. So as a leader of the McKinney Value Project, and obviously in your own business, how do you show that consistency in process?
Nathan, we cannot hear what you're saying.
Uh-oh.
I think I heard it. How do I show that consistency? Yeah. So we do run ourselves kind of like a business, even though we're a nonprofit. Branding is extremely important. As you can see, any opportunity I have, here's my brand. I'm wearing a shirt. You will not see me out in public without a name tag with my logo on it and my name. I tell the same of our board. You always wear your name tag, logo, name, brand. The trust factor comes in that my board knows that we have to be positive. Any Facebook post, any encounter in the community, positive. We love our community. We are for our community. A lot of times in politics, it's very negative and angry. We're not doing that. And the reason that I think people trust us is because they know that we are a positive force for the community. We're not here to tear anybody down. We're here to help.
Well, speaking of community, the community and the leaders of the community kind of create a partnership of trust, or at least that's how it should be. And it's obviously a positive in business. As a part of our business growth, our blueprint should be very intentional partnerships to expand our reach, to create brand ambassadors, et cetera. What are some criteria that you guys use to determine whether a potential partnership aligns with your business goals and your values? Start there.
Ours is people that are patient. We say patient focused, but I mean, that's client focused, right? We have to get that vibe before we feel comfortable connecting to them. Like Audra, who's not here, that's why we connected with her. She's very person focused.
So so that really is more missional alignment. Would you say that?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Same kind of, same mission, same view on the dignity of the human, and the business or the service needs to revolve around them and not the other way around. And so we're always looking for fitness or health related partners to allow once we've taken care of our patients, stabilized them, got them functional, we want to hand them off to someone that we trust that'll keep them moving, keep them safe, and so they don't keep coming back in to see us because they fell or hurt themselves, things like that. So always looking for those types of personal trainers, gym owners, other people like that.
You know, Suzanna, you've been an advocate for both two-legged beings and four-legged beings in your time. So you've developed a lot of partnerships that I think, inevitably led you to open up your business that you have now. So when you're trying to determine if someone is a good fit or not just a good fit, but even before we find those people, we want to know as a part of our business development, what types of partnerships we're looking for. And so can you give us an example of a partnership that not only aligned with you, but exceeded your expectations and how that was beneficial for your business?
We've had a lot of feelers out in the community as far as the rescue groups that we've gone to. We have to be very careful about that. Their social media presence, all of those things, we have to make sure that they align with K9's core values and our core values. So we make it a point to, I'll get to know the person. We'll have lunch, we'll one-on-one, spend some time getting to understand where their mind is focused. Mine is making sure that everybody is healthy and receiving the best care all the time. So I want to make sure that their mind is that way. We've partnered with Stonebriar, the Wolfgang over in Stonebriar. They do great grooming services. They've been consistent with us, and the services that they provide have been very instrumental. I don't think twice about referring any of my clients over there to take care of their babies as well.
Well, and it sounds like you because of there's some limitations on social media, things like that you have kind of clear and measurable objectives that you are going to almost a checkbox, kind of like what Jeremy said, that these are the types of folks that I'm going to be able to align with if they meet this criteria. And so it sounds like you've developed that already before you even run across a new potential partnership. Is that correct?
Right. Similar to both what Jeremy and Tammy both said, the checklists, my mental checklist that we have when I'm, even trying to build a relationship, and positivity is huge always. So if you don't have a positive presence, either about you or, in your social media or your branding, then it's not beneficial for either one of us.
Well, we talk about, overall developing strategy, a blueprint for business growth, and a strategy, a well-defined strategy can help accelerate your growth as a business. It really should, your overall business strategy should really act as a roadmap in a sense, right? Every decision that you do, every person you hire, every partnership you bring on, your processes all need to be seen through the lens of that strategy. But sometimes we have a strategy or we start down a road where there's some misalignments and things don't actually go the way we see them. So a question, or would like them to go. A question to you guys: what are some common strategic misalignments that you've encountered, and how did you course correct? How did you get back on the right path there?
That is a good one.
Strategy without vision is dangerous. I've done that where I have a really good strategy, but I don't have a good vision. So I basically run in circles really well and never progress. So I think establishing a solid vision first helps.
Well, it sounds like, because you were talking about with your team developing the touch points to make sure that the brand and the credibility was filtering down through all of your people. What made you realize did it get to the point where something was wrong and you realized there's a problem that needs to be corrected there? Or was that just preemptive and you decided to implement that strategy?
Well, pain is a great teacher. And so basically what happened was I was seeing patients all day long through lunch, and the rest of my team we were starting to drop the ball with the quality of our care. I'm like, what's going on here? I was like, well, I'm not investing in my team. So we had to sit down and say, why are we here? What are we doing this for? And actually see less people during the day. and schedule some more time to check in with each other and go through those checklists, make sure we're doing things right, remind ourselves of why we're doing this. That seems to help drive some of that consistency. So yeah, I was just getting too busy and not seeing the fruits of it.
Well, a big part of strategy, and that's a great point, Jeremy. You did it out of necessity, which is sometimes, if we could plan for everything, that would be great, but sometimes we can't. Oftentimes we can't. And we try to anticipate as best we can. But Tammy, to you, how do you ensure you obviously have a team you're leading as a president? How do you ensure that the team understands and contributes to the execution of the strategy, the vision that you guys have set out?
Well, we have monthly board meetings, and at our board meeting, we are very clear on our mission. We always talk about it, but mainly it's listening. What I ask is, what are we doing that's working? Where do we need to improve? We look over the year, we look over the month or whatever, what worked, what didn't work. And mainly it's listening to those other board members and their strengths and their ideas and implementing those. So I take lots of notes when they talk. And then after the meeting, I go back and I say, okay, how are we going to implement these ideas that they have?
So it's the regular check-in, basically, is what you're saying.
Regular check-in and listen.
Anybody else?
Nathan, when you were
Go ahead.
when you were talking about course correction, being in the people business, I believe that especially a place at home, when we have clients we have to take care of in their home, we're guests in a hospital or guests in a long-term care or assisted living, we're constantly checking out the culture of where we're at. And there's constant course corrections when it comes to taking care of people. And one of the things that I think is absolutely paramount to what we do is report when we have a care, another one. That has been our saving grace, and it's been very helpful to the family. And we have a written care plan that we go over with all the clients, all the personnel at the hospital or assisted living, and the family, and go over that. So they have in writing what is clear that we're going to do. And because of that, and I'm going to brag here a minute, this is the 4th year in a row that we were won best place to work for a franchise and best client satisfaction. And I think having those systems in place, and you're constantly on a little bit of a course correction with every patient, I think that's what makes our particular business successful.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, and being able to course correct, as you mentioned, is obviously key, because like I mentioned with Jeremy, you can't always anticipate. We do our best to anticipate, and that's the proactive approach to, and sometimes having the right strategy can help you kind of see what's happening with the market trends, things like that. But having a process in place when and if you need to pivot is very important. Lastly, clarity. Clarity is huge. Not just the message that you're sending to your clients, but the vision, the processes, what you're casting downstream from your team, whether you have a team, you're a solopreneur or business owner, you have a team of people. The clarity is very important, because it's going to allow you to be a better leader, right? It's going to allow you to streamline the operations, the processes that you put in place, and it really brings everybody together kind of synergistically towards the objectives that you want to have in your business. And so what are some methods that you guys have used and employed to ensure clarity in both internal decision making and then also your external messaging towards your clientele, your customer base, or Tammy, in your case, the citizenry of Plano or McKinney?
For us, it's transparency. We trying everything that happens behind the scenes with your pet. We like to communicate that as clear as possible. Obviously, we've talked about this before. My clients can't tell their parents about their day, so we have to be able to do that for them. So transparency and communication has to be at the forefront for us, for both with our guests' parents and with our teammates in the back, especially. So everything has to be written down. I'm always available for questions. So notes have to be meticulous, and they have to be meticulously followed, so that we don't, because we can't ask a dog do you like chicken or fish? Because they don't know. So, so we have to make sure that everything is in line.
Just put it out in front of them. You'll find out pretty quickly what they like.
They'll eat whatever you put in front of them.
That's very true. That's very true. Janine, you mentioned talking about the different areas of real estate where whether it be investing or purchasing. You also have developed obviously relationships with people outside of just your purview that are coming to you for advice or referrals, asking your opinion on things. But you establish your brand and your vision and how you want to operate. But how do you respond when that messaging either misaligns or confuses somebody, or you butt heads in some capacity, whether it be a client, whether it be another partnership or another real estate, whatever that looks like? How do you handle those situations where the lack of clarity isn't there and maybe ends up kind of threatening your vision on what you want to be about? Does that make sense?
Yes. So my initial meeting with a lot of people, whether it's my clients or partners, would be setting expectations. Like as we work through the years on whether it's your real estate goal or sending you referrals, I set expectations on communication and the level of customer service that they give my clients. And if there is like a rift, I talk it through. I feel like I'm a pretty easygoing person that I can talk to different kinds of people, whether they're quick to respond or they're the type of person that don't want to talk. I'm very good at reading like body language and also like how that person is responding to my communications. So, and that helps where we either part ways where it's no longer beneficial to either one of us, or we work it through.
Well, and I think that's important, to obviously be reinforcing your vision, because that's going to continue the open lines of communication where you're setting those clear standards. Guys, awesome job. Thank you so much. When we come back, we're going to actually put a bow on this segment with our other segment called What's the Difference? And we're going to just throw out a couple of different scenarios and ask, what's the difference between these two things, and get your best take on each of those. So stick around. We'll be right back.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media, LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
What's the difference? Where I read a question, the difference between two things, and we'll go around and ask each of our guests and co-host a different what's the difference question. We'll try to get to all of them today, and I think it's going to be a great segment. Janine, we'll start with you. What's the difference between having a vision and having a strategy? Having a vision and having a strategy.
Okay, I'm going to answer that with kind of with an analogy. When you go to the grocery store, like you can just go walk around and aimlessly look for things that you need. But when you have a strategy, like a grocery list, then you can be really efficient with your time and you can stay focused and finish your task sooner than later.
Okay, so I like that you used an analogy. That's very good. A vision is basically the why behind your business, kind of a long-term aspirational goal that inspires your actions. A strategy, on the other hand, is the how, the step-by-step to get there. So they're very important to have both of those in that regard, right? If you have a vision and no strategy, you are going to be in trouble. If you have a strategy and no vision, you're going to be spinning your wheels, basically, because you don't know exactly where you're going. So when you think of know, like, and trust, the know factor, a clear vision, ensures stakeholders understand your purpose. The like factor, a solid strategy, demonstrates your competence in achieving goals, earning respect. And the trust factor, a well-defined strategy, builds confidence in your ability to deliver on your promises. Okay, Jeremy, to you. Question 2. What's the difference between differentiation and disruption? Differentiation and disruption.
Yeah, so when differentiation is when you are in this ocean with your competitors, right? Or this group, and you are highlighting certain aspects of your service that sets you apart from your competitors. Whereas disruption is where you break through a wall and start a whole new model of the way to deliver that service that's unique and not maybe even tried before.
Yeah, I love that. Differentiation focuses on standing out within the existing market by emphasizing unique aspects of your product, service, or brand, while disruption, just as you said, changes the market entirely, introducing new models that challenge conventional ways of operating. Differentiation is about improving. Disruption is about reinventing, which is obviously a very good thing. Question number 3 to Cyndi.
Thank you for giving. That's an easy one for me anyway, because if you're focused on.
Hold on. Let me ask it first. Hold on. Let me ask it first. What's the difference between being customer focused and competitor focused? There we go. You're so excited. I appreciate that.
I know. Well, if you are competitor focused, you're not focusing on your client. You're so worried about what they're doing. You're not paying attention to what these people need. And I think that when you position yourself to understand your client's needs and that you appear to be and follow through to be reliable, and whenever you are customer focused, you are able to expedite the solutions much sooner. And I also think it also helps in their decision making. It helps in their decision making, and it helps with their communication with you.
Yeah.
So,
I think
when
you hit the nail on the head. To put it more concisely, you did a great job. Customer focused approach revolves around understanding and fulfilling your client's needs and desires, while competitor focused approach benchmarks your offerings against your rivals. Not necessarily a bad thing, but being customer focused ensures long-term loyalty, while being competitor focused can lead to reactive strategies. So you want to make sure that your focus is exactly on the thing that's going to impact you most, which is your clients. So understanding your customers' needs puts you in a place where you're more attentive and have a reliable brand. A customer-focused strategy creates solutions tailored to their preferences, earning goodwill, again, trust with your client. And this client trust businesses that consistently prioritize their interests over outdoing competitors. So if you're so competitor focused where you lose track of what your customers' actual needs are, well, then you're going to start failing in that area, which is certainly not what we want. Okay, Tammy, question 4 to you. What's the difference? What is the difference between clarity and this was interesting because clarity was our last talking point. What was the difference between clarity and oversimplicity in your study?
Okay, the difference between clarity and oversimplification. So clarity is what we all strive for, right? We want to send a clear message to our audience, and we want our team to have a clear vision and a clear message of what we're doing. The problem with oversimplification is that you leave out the details of how that's going to happen, and you also assume that everyone can read your mind, which they cannot. So when you are communicating, you want to have that clear message, but you do need to add the little details every now and then to make it come together and be cohesive. And with your team, you need to make sure everyone understands what their job is, the details of how we're going to get from there to there.
Yeah, you nailed it. Clarity ensures everyone involved understands your goals, priorities, and steps to success. Oversimplicity, however, risks omitting crucial nuances that leads to incomplete execution. In other words, clarity communicates precision, oversimplicity sacrifices detail. So great job, Tammy. And lastly, question 5 to Suzanna. What's the difference between consistency and rigidity in execution? What's the difference between consistency and rigidity in execution?
Well, consistency, to piggyback off of one of the other questions, helps to ensure that you're customer focused, because you're able to deliver the same reliable, high quality experience every time. They've come to expect that, and you're able to deliver it. It also helps ensure that, protocol is always followed and everybody knows what to expect all the time. Rigidity is just the opposite of that. It's when you refuse to adapt. Your rigidity can cause other people to have a negative experience because you weren't willing to accommodate them in a way that was necessary for them to feel comfortable. And it can impact your relationship with your clients.
Yeah, consistency involves maintaining regular efforts and reliable messaging across platforms and interactions. Rigidity, on the other hand, ignores the need for flexibility and adaptation to new information or market conditions. In some ways, you can just be like, this is our business, this is what we do, this is how we do it. And that might have been good in a time. That might have been a consistent behavior. But if you're only focusing on, exactly how you do something, then you're not focusing on, is it time to pivot? Is it time to evolve? Is it time to adapt? And you actually end up hurting yourself. Very good. Okay. Any final thoughts before we go to our commercial break here in just a moment? Anything else before we wrap up? No. Okay. You had your chance. That was it. When we come back, we're going to dive in deeper and get to know our guests, Tammy, Jeremy, and Janine. We're going to talk about some of their involvement in the community and how it's helped their businesses grow and expand. So stick around. We'll be right back.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. totalcare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Janine, I'm going to start with you. I want to just kind of open this up to share a little bit about your personal journey, where it's led to you as a business owner, but more importantly, how you talk about the relationships that you've developed. People are coming to you for things outside your real estate purview. How has that involvement in the community bolstered your brand, your success in business, and how's it really told the story of what you've accomplished so far?
So just a background about me. I started real estate when I was 4 months pregnant. I now have 3 daughters. They're 9, 8, and 5.
A bold decision to start a new business when you're pregnant.
Yeah, well, I was motivated.
So I'm not going back to work. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so I wear many hats as a realtor, as I'm very involved in the community and my kids' school. So I, again, line myself up with this like-minded people that are motivated, but also that give back to the community. Because it's not just about me, and my business, but what can I do to help my community be a better place?
Yeah. So what you talk about being involved in the community, how has that involvement actually, reaped benefits or dividends in terms of your business growth?
Brand recognition, because I am at the school often volunteering when I have time, but also what I've done for my girls' birthday parties, instead of giving my daughters gifts, I ask for friends to donate to the North Texas Food Bank. We've also done it where it was like a dog adoption theme party. So everyone brought dog food, and I bought a bunch of stuffed animals so the kids could adopt cats and dogs. So I'm also trying to set a good example for my kids that gifts are great, but when you get 20, 30 gifts, it's actually, it kind of loses its luster, right? So the feeling of giving back to the community, I feel is a much larger impact on my children.
Suzanna, same thing to you. You've obviously been involved a lot, child advocacy groups, just a lot of different partnerships with other communities in the four-legged creature world. How has that involvement in the community bolstered your brand, your growth, your just told the story of your journey thus far?
Well, it's always with the brand recognition. Anytime you get your name out there in a positive way is a good thing. We've also been able to impact lives. We've had a baby boy doggy that's been staying with us since September that we fostered over at the resort, who has finally got his forever home. He's leaving us tomorrow on his way to Chicago. And we're having a going away party today. And, he's grown on even not just us, but even our clients. Some of the other clients brought going away gifts for Lake. And it's just been we've kind of built a family around this whole thing. So everybody knows that everybody knows where they can come if they need help.
Well, that's good. I mean, and being that beacon is obviously what we want to establish, because like I mentioned earlier, the success of small businesses is imperative to the overall fabric of our communities, which then resonates out towards the state and to the nation. Tammy, you're by the very nature of the group that you're a part of, you're very much embedded in the community. But also you work at Emerson as well. How is that your involvement in the McKinney Values Pack bled into success with your job or business? And what have you seen as a result of just really diving into trying to make a difference and being that face in the community?
Well, first of all, I have to keep my professional life and this separate. I can't do politics at work, unfortunately. But I have been in Emerson for 21 years, and we've been in McKinney 21 years. So I've been there a long time. I know a lot of people. But as far as this group goes, I have served on the McKinney Bond Committee. I have served on the Charter Review Committee. I have served on the McKinney Armed Forces Memorial Board Committee. So I have tried to be involved in the committee. I'm in the chamber. So I try to not just be that person out there angry about something and going to council meetings and yelling. I try to get involved and find solutions. And so
that's good. There's a lot of those people. So I'm glad you're not one of them.
I used to be, but the point is to try to make a difference in a positive way. Yeah. And so, And so for us, we just try to be that trusted leader where people can go for information about what's going on in the community.
Jeremy, same question to you.
So I'll talk about Tai Chi for just a sec. So one way that
yes, I'm curious about that.
So the number one cause of accidental death or injury in anyone over the age of 65 is a fall. So in our clinic, that's a big deal, trying to prevent falls, which is kind of hard to measure. But one of the things we do is the last Friday of the month, we do have a free Tai Chi class. You can just walk in. We don't get your email or anything like that. You just come in, we spread out, and we put on some calming music, and for about 45 minutes, we do some basic Tai Chi. And I will lead the class, or sometimes we'll bring in a local Tai Chi instructor, and he'll lead the class. And we just have fun and kind of try to educate everyone about fall prevention as they're there. And it's, I think we can trace a few patients to it. Usually what happens is as we let our patients go, they hang on to us by coming back to that class. And so we stay in touch with them. So that's one of the things that I think we're all kind of like this. I'm the most comfortable marketing when I'm in a role of service. So if I'm serving other people, I'm a lot more comfortable talking about my business than if I just am like knocking on the door, like, hey, come to me.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a fun way to market our services and also do some education and have fun too.
Quick follow-up to you. What is how is there like levels of Tai Chi, and if so, where are you in the rankings?
So I've done a lot of martial arts my whole life. I've done some certifications in Tai Chi, but I don't have a black belt in Tai Chi or whatever. So there are certain certifications that you can get. I have a black belt in another system, a couple other systems, but I've always loved, Tai Chi and what I do as a physical therapist have come together really nicely. So I've been doing it for about 20 years with my patients. And so I will do it a certain way. I weave in some physical therapy stuff into my Tai Chi. So we actually call it Tai Chi Plus because it's not pure Tai Chi. And then when people want the pure Tai Chi, we bring in the expert.
So this is free class Friday nights. What time?
Friday, it's at high noon. It's this Friday. So if any of you are in Carrollton and you want to come do some Tai Chi, come on over. But yeah, it's the last Friday of the month at noon.
Okay, very good. Well, Cyndi, wrap us up here. You're involved with the Collin County Veterans Coalition. You have a number of other charities that you're a part of. How have you seen that? You're a very connected person. I've noticed this. So how have you seen that allow you to grow your brand as Cyndi Durrance, but also your business and just kind of your place in the community?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with my question. What's the difference between competitor focused or customer or client focused? I'm focused on the people. I'm focused on meeting the need of a people wherever I'm at. When I'm at the Collin County Veterans Coalition, I do whatever I can, answer any questions that I can of any of those veterans to see if I can help them in any way. And when I am at the Senior Service Alliance, we as a group, we get together and we trade stories, trade techniques. We are constantly meeting different people. I meet someone else wants to get connected to, and we're just focused on the people that we're with at the time. And I just think that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to your question was exactly right, because what are you focused on, right? And when you focus on others, and this is a big kind of, if I had to give a generality of what we talk about at the difference a lot, and what Lyndon's passion is showing you how to develop those relationships by not being self-focused, by being others focused. And when you do that, all of a sudden your eyes open to the different possibilities of what that may look like for you and your business, or just your brand and your recognition within the community. So we got about 4 minutes here. I'm going to give 20 seconds to each of you. We'll start with Jeremy on the left of my screen here. Jeremy, just give me your biggest takeaway and what you enjoyed about the show today.
I want to work for Tammy because she said something that I'm going to implement. When she does her roundabout, the first thing she asks is, what are we doing well? And then, what do we need to improve? I feel like I'm always hammering, like, what do we need to improve? I think I need to start with, what are we doing well?
That's great. That's good. I'm glad I got you some practical takeaway. That's wonderful. Cyndi.
I think I really liked what Jennifer said about execution and expectations. That really spoke to me if you're in front of me, you're my client. And what are the expectations, and how can I execute that? And how can I be consistent?
Tammy?
I like the way that Cyndi is so involved in the community. I'm listening to all her charities that she supports and her involvement. And as a community-based person, that's awesome. I really like that.
Janine, same question to you.
So Cyndi had mentioned Kenny's, the food group or the restaurant group.
Mm-hmm.
So my role this year with the PTA is I'm a teacher liaison. So my role is to spoil the teachers with food and gifts. So I'm definitely going to reach out to them. And I appreciate everyone's insights on how they take care of their clients and customers.
Well, and we may be reaching out to them as well. I love Kenny's is like, their whole restaurant train is amazing. It's actually one of the best. Well, thank you, Janine. And lastly, Suzanna, to you.
My takeaway was the fact that I can attest to Janine constantly working and her being pregnant when she first started her. She was our real estate agent. How we met was she sold us our house 10 years ago. She had her baby the same day she wrote our offer. She went missing. She went dark for just a few hours, and we were concerned because we didn't yet know her. And she called us back to let her know that she'd had a baby girl.
Well, good. You just did it quickly. Well, great job. What a story, Janine. I love that. Well, thank you, Suzanna. Guys, great show today. I appreciate everyone. This is the last week of this topic in February, building the right relationships to build your business. That's our topic for next February, or this February, next week, I should say. Leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped opportunities. So set your calendar for next Wednesday at 11:30. We'll be back then with new co-hosts, new guests, and hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay dry. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Susanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, and by Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.